Hello everyone, welcome back to Chess on Fire. Today we will be covering our fourth video of the 2026 Chess.com Daily Chess Championship, and you probably already recognize my username. I am currently at the top of the group with no doubt. That means even if all of my opponents win their games in the following few rounds, I'm going to win the group anyhow. So basically I won with 2 games to spare because I beat the player in second and third with 2-0. So that's basically the introduction, and let me tell you what we're going to do today. First, we will be warming up as usual, and today we will be coming back to Puzzle Battle, and after that we will be covering 3 games that recently ended and I figured is very worthwhile to share, and then finally we will again be dealing with the 2 games left. Now of course, during this journey of round 1 it has been very fun, and it has already taught me a lot. I have learned how to do recaps better, most of them all, and let's try to enjoy this video together. I'll try to make it as instructive and as interesting as possible. So enjoy, support this, let's start. Now, first we start off with the puzzle battle. It's kind of like a tradition for us to start off with some sort of warm-up. Here we go, let's start. Okay, opponent 1531, not exactly high, so let's try to perform well to beat this guy. He's very fast, but I'm not scared. I just play slow at the start, but we're going to get scores slowly but surely. Jack. What? What's the move here? Check? Check, I see. Peculiar puzzle. Oh, what is this pile of pieces? Grab this, we push, we take. Wait. Isn't taking with either rook the same? What did I miss there? Hidden. Nice and normal. Oh, what's that? I don't feel like I'm very in the form. I'm just playing a bit slow today. I don't know why. Ooh. Okay. We take. We check. We check again. We grab the rook. Yes. Nice. 29. Checkmate in 1. Check. Oh, what does this? Ah. Oh. How? Rook down. Nice. Check. There. Boom. Nice. And what about this one? I have zero idea. 32. Okay. Not a good warm-up. I still don't feel warm-up, but let's just dive into the game recaps. Now, this is the game that I had with White against the 3rd player in the group. And what happened is a normal opening, and he tried to go for an early attack. Now, as we know that from last time, early attacks isn't going to work well. It's just going to leave some serious vulnerabilities. Now, here, I first played e3. The reason that I didn't really want to go for castles here is because of, yes, the engine already showed it for me, f5. Like, it can actually be slightly confusing when your opponent tries to attack this early, because actually it is not easy to open the center immediately, so this king is actually temporarily safe in the center. So, first we went for e3, and then this happened. Now, we took, and the idea behind this move is not simply to win a bishop for a knight. There's actually something much more interesting, which is takes here, and then the move e4. A very difficult move to spot, but luckily I did see it. The idea here, I believe I should have mentioned in one of my previous videos, but I don't really remember. Let's just go through it again. If queen g6, we're going to go knight h4, and then if there, we go there. Now, if queen h5, we play g4, and after queen back, we play knight h4. And as you can see, in both lines, the queen is totally trapped. So this is the line that he actually entered. We won the queen, and this position is absolutely winning. Now, of course, it is not entirely like you could just resign immediately, because there still requires some work. We trade pieces, we go bishop there, We try to trade a pawn, we grab the pawn, then we go back. Because really, we need to trade off this knight. This knight is just way too powerful. It's limiting all sorts of movement of my queen. So of course, naturally, we try to trade it off. We take, and then now we first attack this pawn, then we bring out our queen, and then we long castle. Next, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to go queen f5. Actually, here we did have queen f5, I just entirely missed that. But I assume, oh, there's queen c8. Yeah, queen f5 would have been a much cleaner finish. I missed it, unfortunately. But okay, everybody make mistakes. So the game ends over here. Now, the next game is much more of a hard-fought battle, and this is the game that we're going to focus on mainly today. Last video, we've already taken a look at a super important position, but in my view, there's more to be explained. So this is the London system, and I played the King's Indian against the London system, one of the best responses. Now, this is a classic setup. Fabiano actually played a similar setup recently, but unfortunately, just as usual, I forgot to play knight h5 again. Very annoying. I have forgotten to do this I don't know how many times. Very, very annoying, but at least we managed to remember it and grab this bishop. Now, this position is actually very interesting because, first of all, we've got the bishop pair. Now, he captured this, so the center is dominated by white. And in the future, there are even f5 ideas. So my position is not entirely very solid, and it is actually a double-edged position. My plan, of course, is potentially to solidify the center. Then we're going to go for c5, rook over, and playing with the two bishops, we've got to open the position. So if in the future we successfully open the position, then it's going to be good news for us. So we went c5, and here, yes, f5 would be a really interesting fighting battle, and I honestly don't know. I think I would have responded with rook c8, and in case of takes, this position is quite interesting. Now, of course, you could also hold the tension and go for an attack. It will be also very interesting. I would love to have played this position out, but my opponent is trying to focus on center control for now. So keeping the pawn here defending the e5 square is very reasonable. So he went for the second best engine choice, knight e5, and I went for rook c8, everything logical. Now, here, of course, he still played a reasonable move. We also played a reasonable move, rook c7, and the idea behind rook c7 is actually very deep. At least in my opinion. I took a long time trying to figure out this move. Because the idea is after rook c7, if he takes, then we're going to take with the queen, notice not the rook. After he jumps in again, we're going to go queen d6. And the plan here would be to bring the rook over, attack on the c-file. And of course also, we've got this. So rook c7 is basically anticipating the fact that my queen is going to move sooner or later, even if he doesn't attack me. Let's say he plays a useless move, we will be bringing out our knight out. Let's say he plays another useless move, then we might play queen d6 here. And again, we're going to bring the rook over. So that's the idea of rook c7. And the reason that I do not play this move first is I'm trying to trick my opponent. I'm trying to trick him into thinking that this tempo is good for him, which in reality is not if you consider this position carefully. So I think nice idea. He unfortunately did not play as I have planned. He went for bishop b5. Interesting move. This is literally just attacking my knight with a bishop. I mean, yeah, because now we've got to evacuate the knight. Natural move. We explained last game why we won't go for this. And also we explained how we came up with ideas like rerouting the bishop over, how we came up with queen d6, how we came up with rook over, how we anticipated the fact that there's bishop a6, and how we evaluated the fact that the c-file is worth exploiting. After, of course, you could check that video out. A very instructive moment here, in my opinion. We've already analyzed this position carefully, so we will just be talking about it lightly. Now here, he played knight g5. And that's when I know the 1200 brain kicked in and is trying to go here. And honestly, for anybody watching up until this moment, you are in luck, because I really need to tell you, an extremely common beginner mistake is taking on f7 and exchanging two minor pieces for the rook and a pawn. This kind of knight-knight exchange is already very bad, but if you're going to go for knight-bishop exchange, it's going to be even worse. Now, the reason is that you can't really count the pawn as a piece. It's just the structure of the position. So how much activity you have in your position basically depends on your minor pieces. Now, of course, then I would have two minor pieces and you only have a rook. That's 2, which is larger than 1. So whenever I'm trying to attack something, the combination of the knight and the bishop is going to value more than a single rook. That's why it's bad to exchange like this. So here I push this knight away, and of course he took, and he tried to capture this pawn. A further misunderstanding of the position. You really should try to close the position by now, because if you open up the position, it's just going to benefit my bishop pair. This bishop pair is going to be very powerful in the future. Now here played bishop a4, which I don't really understand. I assume he's trying to go like this. Interesting idea. To attack the g6 pawn, nicely spotted. Win for e6. And in case of bishop c2 here, we are going to go for c4, stopping this idea. Now, he went for h3, furthermore, a move that I did not really understand. Of course, we could have gone for d4 here, and that would absolutely be the best move, but I really wanted to play it a bit safe. We're trying to first consolidate a bit, we're trying to get out of the center, then we'll be breaking in the center, and that's just going to be absolutely dominating for me. Rook e7, he played f3, queen d6 attacks the pawn, and here, basically, he went for a defense, and knight h5 just wins the pawn. He just resigned. Now, here, interesting option would be g3, but this is weakening his queen, his king as well, so we're going to go for this. We're attacking the pawn once more, and again, it cannot be defended as this simply loses. I wonder... Yeah, this is a cool move from the engine. I did not see this, I just saw g5 and figured it's just going to be winning. But I did not really anticipate the fact that this is so winning. Now, similarly in this position, after queen here, if I grab this, the knight is just going to sit there permanently, because you can't really go there, the same result. And if my knight is sitting permanently, the g6 square is not threatened at all. We will be pushing d4, and it's just absolutely winning for us. So that's basically that. He resigned here, and we beat Skauda in both of our games. Nice. Now, the last game we're going to look at is this game. Ended on a really interesting tactic. So here, what happened is we played the French defense. Actually, the King's Indian attack. And it's just the classic setup, and here he went for the c3 line, b5, everything's theory, and here he took still theory, and this is where it's not theory anymore. And I figured, what about, let's just play the simple and try to beat him in the endgame. We took. Now, the idea here is this, and we're going to take with the knight. He went there. We're going to go knight e6, everything perfectly calculated. And finally, this is the chance. Because what I figure here is we will be having no long diagonal problems anymore. If this would be just bad, like takes, we're winning. In case of queen takes, we're just going to take back. I guess rook a8. And if he takes here, we're just going to grab the bishop, then we're going to go this. And this happened in the game. Now, after queen c7, the natural thing to do here would probably just to go knight f3. And we're just going to work from there. We will be bringing our rook in, and then we'll be bringing our second rook in, possibly. And when he manages to develop, we are already going to go here, put some pressure. We might be pushing. We might be going like this, or going like this. Many possibilities here. And I thought this position is absolutely playable to work for a win. Active piece placement. But he went for a bishop f4, which is a serious oversight. He just simply missed the fact that there is such a crazy move like g5, just opening the king, not caring for the safety at all. But the fact is, the bishop cannot defend the knight anymore. There are no discovered attacks. Maximum, we go for this. Doesn't work. Oh, actually, just queen c6. But even if he just takes, this is still winning. I mean, you see the same thing. We're having knight bishop for rook, which is a classic winning exchange. Keep that in mind. That's the main thing you're going to pick up today. Very, very important. Now, after queen g4, he tried to pin the pawn, but that's just useless. We attack the queen. The queen cannot keep on this file anymore, so he's going to lose the bishop. So that's basically the end of the game, and he resigned. So up until this point, we are having 20 points out of 22, 2 games left to be played, and that's exactly what we're going to deal with right now. And surprisingly, all of these boards has already finished their games. The only player that's still playing is this guy. Surprisingly, all of the pending games are on this person, which is kind of funny. But of course, we will be having to fight out the last 2 games. Really interesting games to me. And possibly the round is just going to be over like in a few days. Then we'll be covering again. So now let's dive into our next moves. Very important part of the video as well. Even though this is a recap video, this is actually simultaneously a play video. Also very important. Now, this move, knight c5, to me seems very confrontational. And of course we have 2 options. We can either go bishop e8, or we can take. Now there possibly is also b6, but I don't think b6 works here. either bishop e8 and then b6, or we take immediately. Now, as common wisdom says, taking the knight with the bishop is generally not good. So, is this an exception in this case, or is common wisdom going to speak true? So let's consider the line first. Takes. I assume we take there, and after queen takes, we'll grab the pawn. Takes. Weak c3 pawn, of course. He probably needs to play a defensive move. Then we go there. So if we go for this line, we're just going to be 2 pawns up, which is, of course, pretty nice. Now, what about the other possibility, which is bishop e8? Now, the idea here, of course, is to push b6. I don't know what he's going to play in this position, though. Let's say he can't really go there because of this. Let's say rook over, like takes and then there to defend the pawn. Natural move. And if we go there, he's going to go back. Any potential here? Bishop b5, perhaps? Or perhaps takes? We can't really take here because of that. That would be bad. So, conclusion is bishop e8 doesn't look good. Then I guess bishop c5 would be the only move. Takes, there. Takes. And we win this pawn. Let's double check. In case of this, I think we can just go there. Like, I'm not afraid to exchange the bishop. And there's no way to attack this pawn anymore. If he goes back, there's no d4, which is a bit annoying. Interesting. Actually, we probably could go g6 here. Let's say he still goes back, then we have this. If there we have this, he would lose the pawn. Okay, so this line makes the most sense to me. We will be capturing. And let's do something fancy as well. Let's add a few conditional moves. Takes. Rook over, there. Knight over, g6. Knight back. Push, there. Bishop in. Yes, that's all our conditional moves is going to go. Let's verify the line once more. Takes, there. Boom. No tactics. Back, we go there. Up again, we go there. Dominating the knight. Great. Nice. And then finally, we have this one last game, which is pretty nice. I guess we could show the last few moves because I sacrificed the knight, which is really fun. Then when we went in for the check, we grabbed the pawn. Like, actually, I am trying to go for some sort of infiltration, but just nothing seems to work. So let's just grab a pawn, make the material even. He went there. I don't know if he saw this or not, but anyhow, this is just winning for me. I mean, I've got a rook and 3 pawns for a knight and a bishop. That's just a different story from exchanging rook pawn, bishop knight for rook pawn. Now, the move I had in mind here would be this. If king back, we could, I don't know, we could probably go in like that. Yeah, we could probably go like that, and upon this, we go there. In case of that, we go back. Makes sense. And as for king over, same story. He still cannot defend this pawn. Of course, there is this move. Unreal. Like, how could this even be good? Takes. There. Actually, that also works. Then go there. And actually something fancy. If he goes there, we're just gonna sacrifice the bishop. Takes, there, check, checkmate. Okay. So I think queen checks would be the natural move here. Can't be bad. Let's just go for it. So we have already finished making the 2 moves. We have gone through the recap of the 3 games that we have not yet covered. And let's just end on our leaderboard again. We're finally in first place, the first time ever to show you guys as top place when we're showing the leaderboard. Very nice. Up to this point, perfect score. I hope to continue that. And yeah, I guess we will be seeing a few days later to give you the good news on how many points I got in the end out of 2022. I would, of course, be trying to win both games because my opponent is rated 900, and if I lose a game or even draw, I probably will lose like 100 points. So I'm going to beat him, at least try to beat him. And I guess we can already say that we will be seeing each other in round 2. We have successfully advanced up until this point. So that's basically that, and we will see you, and I will see you next time a few days later. Peace until then, bye.